Do you know what Gwaan, where you can get news about the Jamaican culture and just learn about how Jamaicans are doing, as I said, yard and abroad.
You get to learn a new Jamaican patois word or even a Jamaican phrase.
I look forward to the patois word of the day.
The patois word is pasa pasa.
Word today is taco ram.
Our word of the day is duffy.
Twang. A little twang. Not true.
I enjoy tuning in to What a
It
Gwaan.
happens every Friday at 7 p.m. So check them out. And bye from Toronto.
Dodds, Québec et la Jamaïque, écoute What a Gwaan. Yes, What a Gwaan.
I am a big fan of What a Gwaan.
Relevant and entertaining, so keep up the good work.
Watch What a Gwaan.
Big up yourself. What a Gwaan.
What a Gwaan. Yes, What a Gwaan.
Watch What a Gwaan.
Always say I'm going to walk one in a yard. Check it out. 7 p.m. every Friday. Hello, everybody. Wagwan, how you do? It's another Friday, so it's another episode of What a Gwaan. So welcome, everybody, new and old listeners, welcome. You know what time it is, that you now have to go and call your friends, enemies, neighbors, and everybody, and just let them know that What a Gwaan is back. It's Friday, yay! Hope everybody has had a good week. But your girl from Bongo Town is back for another week of What a Gwaan. I want to say special welcome to those listening on Fresh FM Radio London. That's where I'm also tuning in for another episode of What a Gwaan. So welcome, mates. It's March and we continue to celebrate Women's History Month. March 8th was International Women's Day. And again, we want to big up all the women who are doing great things. And today, as we continue to focus on women, in a few minutes, guess what? We're going to be hearing some interesting story of great innovation and success as we discuss the female entrepreneur's journey with Veronica Ahinke Olalere. So stay tuned for that in Time to Reason. But before we go any further, one of my favorite part of What a Gwaan is Patois time. And this is where we get to share a word or a phrase that is only from none other than our beautiful island of Jamaica. And today we're going to go with a phrase, and that phrase is Bull Bucker and Duppy Conqueror. Bull Bucker and Duppy Conqueror. When you hear this term, if you hear somebody say it, do you know what it means? What does this phrase mean? So as usual, we want to make this thing very lively and engaging. So drop it in the comments down below what it means when somebody say Bullbuck and Duppy Conqueror. So in my way, when you hear somebody say, actually, the phrase, I know it is Bullbuck and Duppy Conqueror, but Donovan said it, it as Bullbucker, but also tell me if it's Bucker or Buck. That too. So two things you need to do. Drop the meaning and tell me whether it's Bucker or Buck. So when you hear somebody say, or somebody messing with me and me say something like, me a Bullbuck and Duppy Conqueror. So if you hear me say that, what does that mean? So again, remember, drop it in the comments. I'm excited. Last week was a very exciting show. We looked at our women and how they age gracefully. And we spoke with Maxine Willocks. And she got, some good energy, especially like that little poem that she read and left us with some good gems. She encouraged women to find a good tribe, to embrace themselves, and to find peace in nature. My big takeaway was just the need to was the need to just start to accept who you are and to enjoy you and your journey in this life. It was a great discussion. And if you missed it, you can go back to either Facebook or YouTube where you can hear that episode and all the past episodes from Watagwan. As I stated earlier, I love it. Well, we love it when you engage with us with your comments on your feedback. So please ensure to keep those coming. Okay. It's now time for us to share what's happening across Canada. And in Calgary, the Jamaican Canadian Association is hosting karaoke night on March 18th at the JCAA building at 611 3208 8th Avenue Northeast. The action starts at 6 p.m. and people is 6 p.m. real time, okay? Refreshments will be on sale, cash bar as well. All are welcome. Please bring a friend. It's going to be a good time. Unfortunately, I'm going to be missing it, but bring a friend, okay? In Montreal, the Jamaican Association of Montreal is part of the 198th Street 198 St. Patrick's Day Parade on Sunday, March 19th. The parade starts at noon. The Jam team are in Section C and will meet at Guy and Levesque at 11:15 a.m. Revelers are welcome. For more information, contact Sharon at sharon.nelson@jcam/montreal.com. So that's sharon.nelson@jcam/montreal.com. I think it's Montreal.com. And just a little bit of news from Yard. Dujon Whisper Richards signs pre-contract with Chelsea Football Club. Schoolboy football sensation Dujon Whisper Richards has signed a pre-contract with top English Premier League club Chelsea. The announcement was made by Phoenix Academy founder Craig Butler via Instagram last week. Richards, who has been with Phoenix since he was 12 years old, recently went on a 2-week trial with EPL side Newcastle United, will look to further establish his career in the EPL. And I just want to make mention that this is a KC old boy. For those of you who that might mean something to, but just wanted to drop it in there. The Jamaican Association of Montreal is hiring a coordinator for their Footsteps program. The role creates and offers activities for children online and in person. The perfect candidate should have studied and have experience in social work and a daycare setting. For those of you who are interested, you can call Diane at 438-390-7763 for more information. All right. I really love Watagwan. So you're going to keep hearing me saying there are favorite parts of the show that I like. Another favorite part of mine is Time to Reason. And that we do with none other than the big man himself, former prezi of the JCA Alberta, Donovan Simon. So Time to Reason is up next.
This has been a great discussion. David, thanks for taking the time. All right.
What's up, Miss Nicole?
I am here. I'm here, mate.
Oh, you're here.
I'm here.
Right,
Next,
yeah.
and then look forward.
It's always amazing how Jamaicans get the accent very quickly. Yeah, I'm assuming it has to do with what they serve on the airplane.
But
Right?
the, the, the good thing is we don't even have to go on the airplane. You just want to go on the airport. You pick up the accent.
And then you pick up the accent. Well,
Yep.
I hope you're having a blast, and thanks for making the show happen.
Yes.
It's we're still celebrating women,
Yep.
and today we have an exciting discussion. I tell you, this one is really exciting. The entrepreneurial journey, because lots of women take it on, and it's a big challenge. So today we're going to hear from Veronica Ahinke Olalere, Nigerian and Calgary based.
Yep.
I tell you, the story is one we want to hear. So guess what?
Yep.
Go and do the reasoning, and then we'll come back and we'll chat a little later.
Yeah,
All right?
man. You'll have a good reason.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Welcome to another Time to Reason here on Gwaan. And it's March, and we continue to celebrate our women. And today we're going to look at a female entrepreneur's journey. And it's my pleasure. I've got in the wings Veronica Ahinke Olalere. She's from. She has taken the plunge into entrepreneurship. She started a catering service back in 2018. Then she started her own restaurant in 2019, which we hear as we have this conversation about a female entrepreneur's journey as we celebrate women this March. Happy to bring Veronica on with us here at Gwaan. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, Donovan. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. So I look forward to the amazing conversations we're going to be having, and also getting to know you and getting to know the amazing people who are on this channel.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're going to discuss the female entrepreneur's journey, and you have taken the plunge. So maybe let's start a little bit by hearing about the journey to starting Ahinke's Kitchen.
Wow. So as you said, Ahinke's Kitchen started as a kitchen services. I was cooking from my home when I had started Ahinke's Kitchen. You know, it was, and then it became a restaurant. And we offer Nigerian authentic cuisines, you know, to people who are explorers, food enthusiasts, and the ones in Calgary and like surrounding areas. And most of our customers, you know, we're looking at increasing markets of like families and professionals. But of course, I always say for those who do not know Nigerian food, it is surprisingly hearty and delicious. I mean, it would automatically make you become a fan of African cuisine right away. With the different flavors, ingredients, for example, the textures on the yam combined with Nigerian soups. And even though all of this sounds interesting, I have gone through a lot of sacrifice. I would say I have put in a lot of sacrifice to get to this state. My story is filled with, I usually would say, blood, sweat, tears. I don't want to make it look all fancy because it isn't. I guess that kitchen started when I decided that I was going to leave a toxic marriage with my 2 toddlers in 2018. And, you know, like I knew what I was going to do was I came to Canada as a student. That was in 2010. And going through university and experiencing and understanding the structure around how things are done in this part of the world, and compared to when I just came in and had a huge culture shock, I knew for a fact that I wanted to start the business and run it properly, but I didn't know what to do or how to go about it. So I worked as a family counselor for 4 years until suddenly I had to leave this well-paying 9 to 5 job in order for me to fulfill becoming like a better parent for my kids. Because at that point I was already considering that I was going into separation from this marriage. And even though it was a very tragic and scary decision for me to make, because there was literally no one nowhere that I know than myself to provide for my kids. Despite all of that fact, I was extremely optimistic and hardworking. So at times I couldn't help but feel all of everything that would come with it, the depression, the anxiety, almost like the darkest period of my life. But I think 3 months down the road, I decided I wanted to do this properly. And the only place I could run to was social media. I knew that social media was there. It was just growing, the whole Facebook, Instagram, everyone was all about it. So I was like, okay, I'm getting out of something that I don't even know what's gonna happen on the other hand. And I don't know if people are even gonna support me, even though I know that I'm a really good cook, because I was raised in a family of 12, and we were always cooking big.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't a small pot. So and I was the last girl. So I did a lot of prepping. I did a lot of cooking. I did a lot of things in the kitchen with my mom and my sisters. But during this time, I knew that the best people that would support me and help me are people that don't know me at all, because I was already going through my own fear based off what I was experiencing at that moment. So I was cooking every day. I would cook every day for 3 months, and I would post it on social media. Slowly, few months in, maybe like about 2 months, my demand started to grow, and I decided to look into commercial space. Where I could actually register and have my permit successful. There's no issue. I sent out over 10 emails to different commercial kitchens in 2018. It wasn't the way it is now that everyone is like, oh yes, we accept renting it. I went through all of that phase. We don't understand the food. We were not sure if you're going to be a right fit for us. And just because they're not familiar with what I was coming with. So it was insane. But also the fact that the prices was just it was too much for me to afford, as I'm just coming off from like being in my own kitchen space to like, how much am I charging my customers? And then I had to quickly learn and know the few things that I knew as of then. So I registered to take incubator course.
Okay.
So the city of Calgary would offer like incubator courses to businesses. You would see different options like that on Thrive incubators. So I registered for one, and it was the beginning of my eye opener, because I was like, I think I'm just gonna cook a little, I'm just gonna have a small space, and I'm just gonna enjoy what I'm doing. To like, your business has to be community focused. And I'm like, what? I'm not even here for that. Like, community is on the side. I don't know what that is about. Like, I just want to be able to take care of myself and my kids. Why are you telling me that I have to take care of the whole community with me to grow? It's already tough. I can't do this. And throughout my incubator course, I kept trying to understand, why does my business have to be a social enterprise? Why do I have to take this route? When I finished the course and I started implementing, I was implementing on the go, but once the course was done, there was more time for me to implement. When I started implementing, it was until 2 years after I was like, oh my God, this makes sense. Why would you not be community focused? Why would I not want to do this to support my community? Because that's the only way my community is going to support me back. It's literally the power of give and take, and that's just how life goes. And so with several failed attempts of me finding a space, I found this company called Image Up. It's an organization in Calgary that supports businesses by giving them spots to operate from. And
Okay.
Image Up doesn't exist anymore. But during my process of incubator, Image Up kept coming to my mind. I'm like, Image Hub, like, what if I'm able to do something that can? It wasn't even a thing then. I think there was just a lot of information then.
Yeah,
And
right.
then it was after I was like, okay. Then when Image Up closed down, I was back to square one again. So then I told myself I was gonna find a place, and from that place, I'm going to make sure that the opportunity I was able to get through Emerge Up, because Emerge Up was able to link me up to an African restaurant that allowed me to register my permit
Right.
and have a space to actually properly serve people.
Right.
So that was the first step for me. And so when Emerge Up closed down, I was like, yeah, that's it. This is what I'm going to do. If I'm able to get myself a space, I would make sure that that space can give to the community a space, to the immigrant community, a space where they can cook or where they can do whatever it is with their food business and be sustainable when it comes to income, all at the same time being authentic to their culture and craft.
I like
Because
that.
that's what I got.
Culture. I like
From,
that.
that was what I got from the restaurant that I was able to use for like almost 6 months and 4 months. And then that 4 months, immediately at the 5th month, I got my own place.
Right.
And so that was it for me. Like that was the time I was like, okay, we're doing this. So that's where OKYYC came from. But as of now, it's not still concrete. I wasn't still sure, but I had that going slowly. Just when I thought all my bad luck was over, after working in that kitchen for 4 months, the owner decided to discontinue the lease.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, I thought I just had all of these plans. And what just happened? So at this place, I'm like, I'm going to give up. Like, I cannot count how many times I told myself I'll give up, wake up next morning and carry my laptop and get right back into it over and over again. So, and then I got the restaurant space in 2019. From the owner saying, I want to let go. I had to find somebody else. And the other person too was like, I want to sell the place. And I was like, what, you're selling? All of a sudden, from like, I'm renting to like, you're selling? And then you want to kick me out again? This was going to be the second person who was going to be kicking me out. Then she started advising me and saying, why don't you buy it? Why don't you buy the equipment of, why don't you? And now I'm going from, I'm not even making anything to like, you're telling me I'm going to have a restaurant? Like, what? But then I have all of these paperwork and these thoughts and these processes at the back end, because I had started with knowledge, because I had started with incubator, because I wanted to know. So all of this was very helpful for me. So at this point, I decided to find, I was willing to stick to that kitchen, paid off, and got the restaurant space. And then we remodeled. There were times where I had to paint the wall myself because painters were extremely expensive and I couldn't do it. I had to learn about like colors and everything. Like literally it's pretty interesting. And with the help of my loyal customers, because I kept pushing online, 90% of our customers up until now are from social media.
That's interesting.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. So we kept going this way. And because of that, I know that I have loyal customers, and I was able to find that space. And I knew that, okay, this journey is going to be tough, but this is a milestone for me. And I've been able to, I currently have 5 employees that I work with, and also about 3 contractors. And sincerely, like, this is all around everything. My mission has always been to connect to my customers for fine dining experience, the same way ingredients are connected to food, but also holding on to family, holding on to the fact that is my root. I pride myself to preparing good and fresh food, like
Right.
Nigerian food. We source all our items locally from farmers here in Calgary, and also like to support other businesses here in Calgary. We don't ship anything in. We just try to put back into the community. In addition to all of this being good for the local economy and the environment, our main aim is to always provide the tasty, good, yummy, delicious Nigerian.
And I think come to the community part of stuff. Talk to us a little bit about your perception of being female on this journey, Black female in Calgary, taking on this journey.
Whew. Oh my goodness. I think being Black, it's first a huge one. Then being a female, being a Black female in the food industry, first of all, you're thinking about the fact that there is completely no access to capital. And when it comes to Black women, it's even more, because, and then when it comes to a Black woman that is a single mom, so I had a lot of challenges in people believing what I said I was going to do. I had a lot of challenges that in also like getting support that I needed when it comes to like financial support, when it comes to even, that like there was just this million times I had to prove myself a million times. I had to prove myself. I had to prove my business a million times for me to be accepted. And it's funny how I meet other restaurant owners here in Calgary that are females that are immigrants. They do not come out as often. They do not come out and speak. They do not come out, and it's a lot. It's a lot of mental draining being a female in this industry. Food industry is tough, is not for the weak. Like you but you have to be strong, you have to be firm, you have to also be soft, because the business cannot grow without the wings of other people supporting you.
Right.
But for me, it has always been that the fundings, having the fundings, being able to speak up. If I'm going to get a funding, I'm going to get some sort of support that it's going to grow the business, I have to have a guy beside me. I have to have a friend beside me. I have to have and then I've learned I even have to have my wife friends beside me to make it easier.
Right.
And I have to educate them about what I'm doing and get them completely in love with it, so that when we go together, I'm going to be speaking, but then they're going to be backing me up.
Right.
That is what it takes, and it's a lot, and it's sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad. That's what we deal with when it comes to being Black, and the fact that people don't trust that you would get the service done.
Right.
So that's also there too, because we already have the trust issue going on within ourselves. We already have the fear, we already have the doubt because of the stereotype. And now you have to deal with all of that. You have to almost like build something completely different from what you're used to in order for you to enter the market and feel like, yes, I'm in here too, I exist.
So listen, with all of that happening, you have found a way to tap into technology, to tap into social media, and to expand your footprint. I'm going to bring something on screen here because I want people to see. So you went into TV.
I did. Okay, so guys, you remember that my business started in 2018 from my house. I got into the restaurant in 2019 November. I signed a lease, and then COVID hit 2020. Like right 2020 February, COVID hit. It was so bad. Lots of restaurants were closing down. But between this really helped me, and that's why I talk about setting up your business properly. during the 2018 to 2019, because I had rented space, I had paid for rent, I had my business permit, I had a license into a space, I had the opportunity to get the government loan. So when food businesses were, I had the opportunity for my business to grow. And then I also had the opportunity to get business loan because I had already made enough capital to show for it. And I have all of this back end that I was already dealing with too, hiring and things like that. So even though I had my first staff as of then, just one, by 2020, the business was gonna just crash. Nothing was gonna, like, we started with buffet. Buffet requires people coming in, sitting down, dining with other people.
Right.
First of all, it was a no-go area.
Right.
So we had to quickly close it up. And because we were already familiar with social media, we knew that people wanted websites. We knew that people wanted seamless. They don't want to talk to anybody. They just want to place their order and go. We know that people want smooth delivery, but we couldn't afford that as of then. So instead of the business going down, even after I got the loan, I still didn't understand the proper structure that I need to put in place for that loan to work for the business. So I knew no matter how much I put here, we would close down, we would open again, we would close down. That wasn't working. Like, we had to do something that would keep us in front of the screen. We had to do something that would keep the social media going. We have to do something other than we're closing down. Oh, we're gonna shut down again. We're sorry. Then we bring a restriction note and we say, oh, you gotta get your vaccine, and then people be like, I'm not gonna go. Like, so we understood that we had to quickly set up Uber Eats, DoorDash, and things like that. But outside that, for people to be able to recognize that we set up the Uber Eats, DoorDash, and skip the dishes, and also we started accepting orders on our website. For people to be able to accept that, they needed marketing. So what are we going to, outside the fact that it's pandemic, people are already scared of going out. What can we put out there that is going to put people's mind at ease and also remind them that we're still here.
And here comes
that
the
we're here. We can still provide the food. Now you can get it online. You don't have to come to us. We don't have to come. Like, it's seamless. It's even curbside drop off. Like, you don't want to see anybody. We seal it up. So the idea for the cooking show, even though it was from Open Kitchen YYC. The idea springed from Open Kitchen YYC. Remember, Ahinke's Kitchen's mission is to nurture harmonies in homes. So we have to go back to the drawing board and say, what can we bring? And then we went to OKYYC, and I was like, this is not going to happen, because as of we're looking at 2020, we already had mini businesses that were using our services. The Open Kitchen YYC helps immigrant food businesses to sustain themselves. So we had very mini ones that were using it. Once COVID hit, everyone canceled their subscription. Immediately. It wasn't even, I was even the one saying, I'm like, you canceling your subscription. Things are harder than hard, you know. So I knew that Open Kitchen had to do something. So if Open Kitchen was all about supporting immigrant food businesses, then somehow Open Kitchen has to keep putting immigrant food on the map. So if Open Kitchen is going to put immigrant food on the map, and Ahinke's Kitchen needs help with marketing, then Open Kitchen YYC is going to create a cooking show that I'm going to be a host on that cooking show, where we're going to bring families together. Because at this point, Ahinke's Kitchen, Open Kitchen, our umbrella is literally nurturing harmonies in homes. So we had this first one as Daddy's Recipe, and then we had the second one as Mommy's Recipe. We had 5 episodes at Daddy's Recipe and 6 episodes for Mommy's Recipe. And we created this amazing cooking show with families, where parents get to cook with their kids. It was eye-opening to see dad cooking with their children, creating bonds, creating memories, strengthening the relationship. Because of that, this cooking show was so focused on immigrant food.
Right.
We wanted to keep showcasing immigrant food, because if Canadian mainstream restaurants are closing down and immigrant food does not even exist on the
Right.
map,
Right.
so
Right.
we're not even touching the surface of the map.
Mm-hmm.
So then, and mainstream restaurants are closing down, then by the time pandemic was over,
All
we
of us
would
will be gone.
not, we just gone. Like we just
Yeah.
So that's why we said, let's focus this cooking show. Let's make sure that people continue to watch this show, and this show is going to be focused on families, and these families are going to be immigrants,
Mm-hmm.
and that way we could also support them if
Right.
they need meals from the restaurant. So
I-
that's how cooking show came about.
Yeah.
Tell us heard about it, and they were like, wow, this is great. We're gonna sponsor this show. This
Oh.
sounds good. Yes. So Tell Us Optic TV sponsored the show. We are currently on the website. We have all the channels that was streaming every day
Mm-hmm.
of the week, every minute, every second. We're just sitting down there and streaming. Yes. So the kids learning channel, the community connection, curiosity center, game timer, art and culture, indigenous videos.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're sitting on all of these platforms on Telus Optic TV,
Yeah.
and they continue to support Ahinke's cooking show every single year as long as we're willing to do it.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, it
All right,
is.
listen, time is going. I have two more quick ones. We're celebrating International Women's Month, and we celebrate women. What are some of the things that you think need to be done more in our community, whether it's by government or by the community itself, to encourage more female entrepreneurs?
For me, I think the first thing is for female entrepreneurs to accept that failure is unavoidable. Because I think it all starts from the fear. It all starts from the fear.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it comes to the Black female
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurs are smart. Like if you can be a Black female, that is 100%. Now you're not a Black female entrepreneur. You are above the bar. But the only problem we have is the fear, and accepting that failure is unavoidable. Are there things that the government can do? The government has a lot, not even just government, even venture capitals, even non-for-profit organizations, tons of charity organizations that are set out there to support food businesses, immigrant businesses, Black immigrant businesses, BIPOC businesses. So it's mostly about accepting and learning from the failure and understanding that your failures are absolutely essential for your growth. And I feel like as a Black person, based off where I was raised, as a Black woman, the opportunity to voice out, to growing up, the opportunity to speak for myself. I grew up in a family of 12.
Yeah.
I was number 10. So the opportunity to speak up for myself was never there. So I wasn't raised to have that to stand up for myself, to believe in myself in various ways. Like it was always just keep quiet, you're the girl, just go sit down in the corner, it's okay, don't even make a fuss of anything, and take care of your brothers. So and then growing up, of course, it becomes it becomes a problem. It becomes, it stays in our subconscious mind. So you have to unlearn. If this is your situation or whatever the situation is, I feel that what holds us back as female entrepreneur mostly is the fear, the failure, and like not willing to accept new opportunities. So you can you can start with something, but you don't have to continue with that thing. You can like here's the thing, the purpose can remain the same, but the goals can change.
Right.
You can have that. This is the purpose. We're not going to switch from this. This is what we're going to hold on to. But how we're going to get there, be open for it to change. Be open for the new opportunities. Because without those opportunities, you never know when it will strike. And being prepared for it also is another thing. You know, I feel like I grew up in a family where both my parents were business owners. I thought I was gonna kill it. Like I feel like it was in my blood and I'm just gonna kill it. Like there's nothing. I started business when I was 9 years old. My dad had a filling station back in my home country, Nigeria. And I would make like puff and like snacks and put it in a cute glass bowl and take it with him when he's going and just go sit down at one corner and sell that and just save it for myself. So I feel like I had all of this going on. I knew what I was doing. But the thing is, in business, every day you have to be open to learn.
Right.
You don't know. Like it's almost like you're a student every single day and you have to let people who know come in and help you. I feel like these are the things that hold female back the most, because it's always you think you want to do it all. You could do it all. You can figure it out. You can think about it all. You could do like there's just no room in your head that other people need to come in and support the business to grow. So do what you enjoy.
Yeah.
Make something, like pursue your interest.
Yeah.
Don't stop. Like push yourself. Like I feel like it's the pushing yourself and breaking the barriers, like rethinking, changing the idea that you have and positioning yourself for more growth. Change your idea to like, I'm gonna be willing to grow and whatever, like sometimes we talk to ourselves and those talks make a lot of sense because everything that we are outside is always from the inside. So once you set yourself in the inside, things begin to happen and then you get to attract what you truly need. There's so many opportunities out there. There's so many opportunities right out there when it comes to even financing your business. Like when it comes to grants, I'm not even talking about you starting up. You necessarily don't have to get a loan. I didn't get a loan starting up. I did not do that because I didn't even understand what it takes to get a loan. And remember, I'm a Black woman, so I gotta have someone beside me that's a financial advisor that has a different skin that can speak for me. So we have that going on too, and also just believing in yourself, your own strengths, your ability. No matter what, like your external expectation is, just always stay in the positive realm because it's a lot to be a woman and then it's a lot to be a Black woman. It's a whole lot. And then to be a Black woman in entrepreneur, and then in a country where you were not raised, or in a country, even a country you were raised, because it's all about the community you grew up in, really, right? So be open to looking for opportunities where you can make positive change in the world.
Yeah.
I think
I have one last question for you because time is clicking and I have to respect that. What's the most fulfilling part of the journey for you so far?
Wow. The most fulfilling part of this journey so far for me is that I'm still serving people. Every day that I get you're the tech technician. You're also the CEO, the manager, the this, the that. And the fact that every day that I stand up and I decide to do this, my core value remains that I'm helping people. That's it. I'm helping people. I'm saving the environment. I'm prioritizing family. So those three things are so key for me because when I look at it, I don't have a lot of employees, but I'm grateful that I'm helping people through that. I'm supporting some families. I'm saving the environment. And Guest Kitchen we've completely moved to environmental friendly. Our packages are changed. We now use reusables. Like it's amazing the change that just putting the environment in mind doing business makes it easy for me to wake up every day and say, okay, this is why I'm doing this. I'm doing this so that things can be better. I'm doing this so that I can at every time say my value is to prioritize family. How do we continue to support families? Um, how do we continue to raise a better generation? So that's it for me. Like that's that's what I hold on to because entrepreneurship is not is not for the weak. You gotta have something that continues to keeps you going, and it has to make so much meaning, and that meaning has to be bigger than you. Because if it's not bigger than you, then you're not gonna do it as much. You're not gonna be as dedicated because trials are gonna come, and then you have to be able to remember to recenter yourself back to your why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I'd love to go on forever on this. I love the energy. I hope all the people who are watching take a gem from this. Find your why, find your purpose. It will come with all kinds of challenges, but it can be done. There's a ton of opportunity. Veronica Olalere, Ahinke's Kitchen here in Calgary. Check out the Ahinke's cooking show, folks. Support. But more than anything, we appreciate your sharing your energy and your experience with us.
Thank you. I'm happy to. I'm really glad to. I'm happy to come on here and share about this. I'm hoping that this can inspire as much Black food Black entrepreneurs in general, no matter what you do. Yeah, and I wish you all luck and success.
Awesome. Thanks. Same to you. Take care.
Yes. All right. Bye.
Another great show. We look forward to more. Take care.
This has been a great discussion. David, thanks for taking the time. All right.
You're on mute, Nicole, and I'm not sure why.
Oh, I'm not sure why either. Yeah, but that was a good reason. You probably have to change the segment from time to reason to gem dropper or something like that. Time to drop gem.
Yeah, I mean that was awesome.
Yeah, man.
You know, lots of great tips. But you know, maybe the biggest thing I took away from it was the pleasure she found in her purpose.
Yeah.
It is clearly something that energizes her, that keeps her going. The challenges become secondary because the purpose is so profound to her.
Yeah.
And I think any not just women, I think anybody watching should feel inspired by that commitment to purpose and commitment to achieving, right?
And I like how she didn't like fluff it up. You know, sometimes some people come and they make it seem like, oh, it's so easy.
Everything perfect.
I like the fact that she said, it's not for the faint of heart. But a big piece that I took away is when she said that knowing your purpose is the key part of it, because your purpose can stay the same, but then the goals change. I'm
Yeah,
like,
and you adjust, and
so
there you
much
go. It made a
sense.
lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah,
much
good,
sense.
good stuff. And like I
Yeah.
said, I hope anybody watching, listening, can take away some of those gems as you mentioned, right? Keep the purpose going. This is part of what we do at Watagwan.
Yes, definitely. So that
So
was some
go.
information.
All right. Well, I don't see a ton of comments, so I'm going to
Oh,
pause and let you close it out, and then we'll come back
yeah,
again
man.
and do it
All
next
right.
time. All right.
Yeah, man. Cool. Take care. All right. Okay, folks, I hope you all were listening and, had your notebook writing down. I had my phone thing up and I was taking a bit of notes because I was very interested in what she was saying. And again, just want to remind you folks that this thing gets going by the fact that you keep it engaging. So remember to always drop your thingies in the comments below, your reaction to the show or answering the question. Karis, thank you. Grace, Karis is saying, great job, Donovan. Yeah, definitely a good interview. But if remember Patwa time for Bull Boka and Duppy Conqueror, so I'm guessing no one is talking to me today. But folks, remember, you have to chat to me, man. You have to put some things in the comments so we can keep it going. So a bull bucker and duppy conqueror is someone who is fearless. As Jamaican that say, I'm not afraid of nobody. So when you're a bull bucker and a duppy conqueror, nobody you're not afraid of. So remember next time to drop the stuff into the comments and let us have a good convo. So for next week's show, we're still continuing with the trend of talking to women because it's March and it's Women's History Month. So we'll be talking about our women, the struggle for recognition. And we will be talking to Hagar Sail with to speak on the many issues women continue to face, which are discriminatory, demeaning, and downright unfair, while, sorry, many ignore the issues and maintain the status quo. Will these issues go over or ever go away? How do women manage these issues and spread the successes? So join us next week for another Time to Reason, aka Gem Dropper special. So join us next week. Invite your friends. And in order for you to do that, you can share your messages with us on Watagwan National while we share our stories and experiences. You do this by advertising with us as we continue to grow. Contact us via waterguan.ca or any of our social media handles. And as I said, social media handles, just a reminder to follow us on all the platforms that we're on. So we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn, and we also have a website. So check out the website, and that's at www.waterguan.ca. Send us an email or send us a message through Facebook or Instagram. And as we have come to the end of another great week and another good show, I just want to say thank you for showing up. Thanks for tuning into Watagwan. It's your girl from Bongo Town signing out for another week. Walk good, my people. Walk good.